Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of UnrealEntGaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the domino. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
Dear, for I had a feeling that those demons were going to go and track down Frieza's location sooner or later by this point, and with Zalama's life force completely vanishing, I only fear that I am not too late by the time I make it back to the others and being able to go and reach them before those demons do.
As our story now continues on an off-world planet deep within Universe 7, as Frieza was shown having to engage with several members of the Demon Realm's army, as it was only just upon with Golden Frieza being shown having to overtake several of them during the course of his battle against them was when Golden Frieza then went on to quickly respond, "You know, I must say that I do in fact find this to be rather very amusing in seeing how confident you creatures appear to be upon having to be shown approaching me when you first did. But do go on to tell me now, demon scum, because I am a little curious to know. And just where exactly was it that you and your kind had slithered your way out from, as I wonder now? For I had never seen you or your little friends around these parts of the cosmos before, and as I do not recall ever granting you creatures any permission to exist within my presence," Frieza continues, "and yet here you are, buzzing all around me like a pack of starving insects. For you must be under the impression that because you happen to hail from some dark corner of the universe that this somehow goes and makes you special now, does it? Well, let me go on to be the first to assure you that you and your kind are very far from being special," Frieza continues, "for you are nothing more than insects beneath my feet, and so now understand that you won't have very long before you are all exterminated." "No, but do not let me go and stop you now," Frieza continues, "because you are all still very much welcome to go and try by all means if you wish. And so now go ahead and swarm me again if you think that it'll work within your favor, because I just want you to know that you shouldn't mistake your numbers for strength, and that is simply because in the end, no matter how many of you creatures try and blindside me at once, and no matter how many of you try and ambush me, I will always be able to smell the stench of your inferior existence coming, which is why I will always continue to remain 20 steps ahead of you. But do go on to tell me something, because I can't help but now wonder," Frieza continues upon being shown blasting one of the other spiked demons, "do all of the other demons look like you as well? For do they all just so happen to be just as repulsively hideous looking and just as embarrassing as the rest of you? Or is this simply just the traits that is solely unique to just you and your clan, creature? Because whichever one of these it just so happens to be doesn't change the outcome of what I'm about to go and do to you, demon. For I have faced off against the very gods themselves and had survived," Frieza continues, "and so what makes you think that a horde of insignificant parasites like yourselves will go and fare any better? As I want you to go and know that there is a hierarchy within this universe, and I stand at the absolute pinnacle as the universe's mightiest and most powerful emperor. And so now here's to the final moments of your life while I go and send you off and joining your allies in the afterlife, wretched creature. Frieza continues upon being shown firing down a death beam. And then to think that there are more of you out there who continue to follow in one another's place makes me sick. But I guess since I have nothing else that I ought to be doing outside of plotting my revenge and getting back at those filthy monkeys back on Earth, I might as well go and take this moment to have my fun with you and your kind, since it'll help cure the dreadful boredom that I have before it consumes me. But then, it was only from within that very moment behind Frieza, as one of the elite demons that went by the name of Garlock went on to make his presence known by opening up a portal and addressing Frieza, was when Garlock then went on to quickly respond, "Ah, now this is a fascinating sight to behold, for who would have thought that I would ever go as far as to bear witness to the almighty Lord Frieza himself in watching him reduce my fellow demons down to a little more than scattered remains. How profoundly impressive, for it is no wonder that the universe trembles at the mere mention of your name, for we have been watching you for quite some time now, Frieza." Garlock went on to then make his presence known, "and while you have proven to be able to stand all on your own in fighting off and destroying several of our most fearsome demons with little to no efforts, I come to you here not as an enemy, but I come to you as an equal. But now tell me, my dear Frieza, why do you continue to waste your potential like this when you could be so much more?" Garlock says, "For I find this to be almost tragic in a way, as there you stand, the great emperor of the universe, a being who should be worshipped and exalted, reduced in having to fight on behalf of the very same universe that has turned its back onto and betrayed him time and time again before." And as I can't help but now wonder as to why that is, as Frieza went on to then turn around by then responding, "No my, what an absolutely delightful little speech that was, creature, for you almost had me convinced there for just a moment, and as I do find your offer to be a rather interesting one to say the least, because here I was expecting for a fight to break out here between us, but I guess you must have a way with words since you now have my full and undivided attention, demon, and so now tell me, what exactly is the nature behind your visit here and speaking with me, Frieza questions, for I surely don't believe that you simply came here to boast my ego by flattering me, and so I do in fact would like to know, because let's just say if I go and entertain this little idea of yours, then what exactly is it that I will go and gain from this little alliance with your kind, as what exactly is in it for me if I just so happen to go and consider this offer of yours, demon?" With Garlock responding, "What is in it for you goes far beyond the mere concept of simply having to acquire more power, Frieza, as you crave for something that is far greater than strength itself, for you desire dominion, and as you seek recognition from not just the living, but from the annals of history itself. So think about it, Frieza, for the mortals will one day forget about your name, but under the rule of the great Lord Raijin in pledging yourself to the demon realm, your legacy will go and carry on in infamy and having it be eternal, my friend." With Frieza responding, "Oh, is that a fact? And you think that I will come to agree to your terms because you think that I need you? And what if I were to go and decline this offer of yours in pledging myself to your so-called ruler known as Raijin? What if instead I were to go and tell you that I wanted to go and claim the seat of the throne and becoming the difference maker within the demon realm? What then, my friend?" With Garlock responding, "Because I can sense that you still hold a great deal of resentment within your heart towards those who have humiliated you now, don't you? Towards those who have cheated fate by surviving your wrath, for I can see that you still hold a great deal of hatred within your hearts, and as I am here to simply offer you a chance to further go and awaken it, Lord Frieza, because believe what you may, but you in fact actually share far more in common with us than you might come to even realize, and as I am not not here to go and fight with you, but rather I am here to offer you a deal instead. And so why come to fight as enemies when we could go and work as allies instead? Am I right? With Frieza responding, a deal you say, and so you are serious about your inquiries with having me as an ally to your world now, aren't you? Well, fine, I'll bite then, especially since I am far more curious now in seeing as to what your so-called deal has to further offer, and so now tell me, and what exactly does this proposed dominion that you offer me entail? Because with my legacy intact, how exactly will this change my thirst and revenge now, demon? With Garlock responding, well, you cannot think that you can truly go and get what you want alone without having to accept the fact that no matter how great you assume for yourself to be while alone, you will only continue to remain outnumbered no matter how far you are willing to go, and that is where we can come in and help you even the playing field, Frieza. With Frieza responding, interesting, and let's just say if I accepted for this to happen and have you demons aid me in my quest, then where will I go and happen to find such numbers if you say that I won't be outnumbered, demon? With Garlock responding, well, the answers that you seek will not go and be found on a world such as this, but if you choose to come with me and accept this offer that I came here to go and bring you, then I will go on to take you into the demon realm where everything that I had offered you will be waiting for you to go and claim as your own, Lord Frieza. Or if you choose to go and take this moment and agree to the terms that I came here to go and offer you, then you will grow to become far more than you could ever possibly imagine in becoming after entering into our kingdom. With Frieza responding, no, is that so? And what if instead I were to go and choose to annihilate you where you stand instead? Frieza went off to then point his finger out by responding, for what good are you to me if I were to go and simply find this realm and enter it alone, demon? For you don't truly think that I would need you in helping me navigate my way through such a world now, do you? As a confident Garlock then went on to respond, well, if you were to go and choose to end my life now, then you will be swarmed by the demon realm's forces and be destroyed without a trace. For without me present alongside you and giving way for you to be accepted by our forces, then they will merely see you as an obstacle and nothing more. So if you decide to go and strike me down now, then you will never go and be given what I had offered you, Lord Frieza. As Frieza went on to then lower his arm by then responding, how very tempting, but fine, then I will go and take your word for what it is and accept this offer of yours, as I demand for you to go and bring me into the demon realm where you just so happen to reside at once. With Garlock responding, yes, of course, for I assure you that you will not be disappointed in making this decision, Lord Frieza. And so now come, for the portal that connects directly into our world awaits you, as you have come to make the right decision in doing what was best, mortal. And as I will only go as far as to assure you that you will not regret this. As Frieza was then shown making his way towards the portal by then responding, very well then, and so now let's go and hurry it up and make this quick, because I do not wish to go and waste my time, but instead would rather go and take these precious moments to go and set out on what I've been longing for, demon. For you have went and warned me ahead of time, and so now show me. As Garlock went on to respond, oh yes, but of course, Lord Frieza, for you have my word. Oh, but you do indeed for now, that is. And as I cannot believe that this wretched creature believes himself to be an equal among demons and the warlord among gods alike, but no matter, Garlock continues, as he will only go on to serve as a mere pawn within our game and will be expelled and eradicated once we have used him, for he will act as the flame that shall lure the moths from their hiding places and the baits that shall drag the mighty into the abyss by Lord Raijin's hand, and then, only then, will he be the next in line that will be joining them within the grave. To which, as Frieza and Garlock were then shown making their way into the demon realm, was when Garlock went on to then introduce the demon realm to Frieza by then responding, and so now behold and look upon this world, Frieza, for it is unlike anything that you have ever known, as the gods fear it, the mortals shun it, and yet those who understand its true power flourish in it. For you see, this realm is not bound by the fragile laws of reality that govern over your universes, but instead, it's alive, Garlock Garlock continues, as the demon realm itself is alive, Frieza. It watches, it feels, it listens, and it feeds. And as those who embrace the darkness within their hearts will find themselves flourishing beyond their wildest dreams. For our realm doesn't just house its inhabiting demons, but rather it goes on to create them. And as you are no longer in the universe of the weak with its fragile laws, for there is no god of destruction to bring order within this realm, as there is also no angel to step in and reset the balance of it either, Garlock continues, as there is only chaos that exists all around you, and chaos that does not discriminate between gods and mortals, Frieza. As Frieza went on to then gaze on up by then questioning, interesting, and what exactly is that massive landscape that hovers right above us? As I can sense a tremendously massive battle power that is emanating from what seems to be its very surface, with Garlock answering, this, dear Frieza, is Lord Raijin's sanctuary, which sits at the very pinnacle of absolute authority, for this God King Mountain is where Lord Raijin's throne remains, as there is no permitting in having anyone cross over into Lord Raijin's kingdom without first being instructed to go and do so, unless they go in warrants for Lord Raijin's wrath be placed upon them, to which, as another elite demon by the name of Lycus went on to then approach Frieza, was when Lycus then went on to quickly respond, and who is this golden mortal lizard that you bring into our realm, Garlock? But of course, so you must be Frieza, as I have heard so much about you, but while your reputation precedes you since you are already here within our realm, I hereby demand for you to kneel in place of your loyalty to Lord Raijin and the demon realm and submit to his will, lest you warrant in having to suffer severe consequences if you don't. And so now proclaim your loyalty to the throne and accept Lord Raijin as your master, as Frieza then went on to gaze on up by responding, well, actually, I'd rather not, as a matter of fact, because serving under someone else just isn't what I do. But this throne which you happen to speak very frequently of, however, is something that I am actually very curious in knowing about, and so as much as you would want for me to go and have me bend my knee to the throne, I'd much rather go and take my place in it instead, as Lycus then went on to quickly respond, what did you just go and say to me? Why, you rotten little insolent and foul creature, for you will go on to know your place and bend your knee in honor of your new God King Lord Raijin, because if you don't, then I'll just go and break your legs myself if it means getting you to submit your loyalty to the throne. Otherwise, we will go and enact upon you a punishment that will be far worse than even death itself, Frieza. And so now do as we say and kneel, as Frieza went on to then laugh by responding, break my legs, you say? Well, I would hate to say that I would like to see you go and try, but I in fact actually have other matters that I am now looking to go and attend to, because while I would love it nothing more than to go and tear you little worms apart for even daring to speak to me in such a way, I am actually more interested on seeing who sits on top of that very mountain, which I am dying to now go and seek for myself. And so now if you can go and excuse me for the time being, Frieza leapt on up by attempting to make his way up towards the God King Mountain, for I have more important things to go and attend to at the moment, beginning with having me go and see on just what exactly lies at the very top of this so-called God King Mountain. But then, it was only just upon with Lycus being shown having to grab onto Frieza's leg and preventing Frieza from reaching the top of God King Mountain was when Lycus then went on to quickly respond, over my dead body you will, Frieza, and since you were already warned several times in remaining where you are and to bow your head in respects to Lord Raijin, since you cannot be reasoned with while attempting to pursue and climbing Lord Raijin's mountain without anyone's consent, prepare to now face the full force of the consequences behind your reckless actions, Frieza, with Frieza responding, no, I'm sorry, but perhaps I didn't go and make myself as clear as I did, demon, and since you now want to go and lay your filthy hands on me and preventing me from reaching the very top of this mountain, maybe now this ought to be the wake-up call that you need in order for you to finally see that laying your hands on me like this was a mistake. And a grave mistake this indeed now was, because with with Golden Frieza then shown having to fire down multiple death beams upon Lycus' body was when Frieza then went on to quickly continue, "The sturdy one, aren't we? Well, tell me now, Demon, have you had enough or are you thirsty for some more? Because I can continue to do this all day, and so it'll only be a matter of time before you go on to reach your breaking point." And what then, with Lycus shouting, "Why, you wretched animal, get him off of me, Leviathan!" To which from out of nowhere within that very moment, the massive Leviathan did, because as the Leviathan went on to smash his way into going as far as to punch Lord Frieza away from Lycus was when Garlock then went on to intervene by responding, "No, dear Frieza, for you should have been more careful with what you had asked for before deciding to come into our realm and thinking that you can overthrow what had already been established long before your arrival," as Lycus then went on to quickly respond, "And that was where you were wrong, for you should have went and thought twice before attacking me, because that was when your fate was sealed, as your first mistake was assuming that you can go and come and do as you please within our world without bearing in mind on what our kind is capable of in wielding, Frieza. As I will go and show you on exactly why we demons are not to go and be taken as lightly as you appear for us to be taken, Frieza. And so now, Leviathan, grab hold of that little rotten worm and do not release him until he pays with his life for daring to disrespect Lord Raijin's domain." To which this was exactly what the giant Leviathan did, because as the Leviathan went on to grab hold of Frieza by squeezing him within his hand was when Lycus went on to then continue, "Yes, good, and so now squeeze that fool until his bones shatter, so that way he may go on to feel the full force of the pain that he had coming for daring to go and take us for fools upon coming here. And so now continue to squeeze him and do not let go," as Garlock went on to then chime in, "Oh, Frieza, how truly foolish of you to even try and turn your back on us despite in knowing that you are in no position to hold the upper hand here against us. For you see, I never trusted you, Frieza, not for a single second, as your ambition is as transparent as glass, and your treachery as predictable as they come," Garlock continues, "as I knew that this moment would come, and yet you still believe that you can go and outmaneuver us and get the better of us while here. No, for you were mistaken, as let this go and be what shows you that you will now pay the price with your life for ever daring to go and make the one mistake that we here had went and warned you about, as we will now promise that you will not live long enough to regret the actions of the choices that you made, mortal," with Frieza then having to respond, "Why, you miserable little insects, for I should have known that you would go and try this here against me, but I just want you all to know, especially you, Dark Wizard, that each and every last one of you insignificant, disgusting creatures will suffer a fate far worse than death for even daring to go and stand against me the way you just did. And if you demons truly think that you have won, then clearly you are without a clue," Frieza continues, "because while you assume for this to be the full extent of what it is that I am capable of, then allow me to go and be the first to assure you that it is not. Because since you now have the nerve to go and demand for me to go and take the knee and obey your laws here without knowing of the terror that comes behind waging a war with me, I am about to go and now show you on exactly why that is, demon," as it was only right then and there now during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super, The Story of the Dark Masters, the official Murno sequel, manga chapter number 29 special, then comes to a close.
Well, actually, I'll go ahead and take it from here, as I do want to go as far as to address something very important with our dear viewers at the moment. As before I go and give you the following information, if you aren't already a member of Unreal's Patreon community, then you are truly missing out on so much without you even knowing, because not only is the next episode already on the page, but if you want to support all of the manga content that you see and gain access to tons of exclusives along the way that range from a variety of different things, then we do encourage for you all to become members of our Patreon community today, for we will link everything down within the description box below and pinned comment section as well. Now, I will go as far as to say that even though this is not the ideal situation that someone like Frieza wants to go and find himself within, especially with these demons having to hold a significant number numbers advantage over Universe 7's warriors, including having to house an extremely powerful demon god in Raijin, I can only hope that Frieza is able to come to his senses and make it out of that demon realm with his life intact, lest he warrants annihilation by the hands of those dark masters alongside Raijin. And so you do not want to go and miss out on what is about to happen coming up next. So we hope that you all enjoyed today's video, and before you leave, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up by smashing that like button on your way out, as well as also subscribing to UnrealEntGaming's channel for tons of new Dragon Ball content. So with that, we thank you all so much for watching, as we'll be seeing you all again for the next one.
Hello! Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi!
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.